So what is wrong then? What is wrong? I guess this is the part where we start shaping it a bit more. But just looking at the rainbow balloon, looks like the top is very much shorter than mine. The top of my heart is definitely like, it's got that curve in it that it needs, but it's definitely not that tall. So let's knock that down a couple pixels. Let's cut it off like right there. Maybe one more. Actually, oh, this is gonna be weird. It's got a short curve at the top, but it's still a curve, so I need to make it like, I need to make it curved, but it's still short. Oh, that's weird. It's definitely weird. I guess that makes a little sense because they want to make it look like an inflated balloon, so they have it like, oh man, I don't know. It's not like a true heart where it's like, it's got a deep fold in the middle and you can distinctly tell the two halves of the heart. It's more like it's a balloon that they indented at the top so it looks like a heart. It's not like, it feels like they made the balloon part first, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm starting to get a little more heady in my descriptions here, but oh man, how am I gonna do this? Okay, I think we want to make it like a balloon first. So let's close up the top, actually. Let's make this more of a curve right there. How do you even make a curve with pixel art? I don't even know how to do that. Like that? I guess. In the preview, it looks okay, but like when I'm doing it, it doesn't look okay at all. It's kind of weird. Okay, yeah, that's the idea. So what I'm saying is, if you don't catch my drift, it feels like the the artists, it feels like they started with a balloon, and rather than shape a heart first, it feels like they shaped a balloon first, and then just created a little, like a choop, which, you know, curves the entire thing. I mean, that doesn't really look like a balloon. Maybe I should like look at a red balloon and do that first and then curve it inwards. Oh man, this is gonna take a lot longer than I thought, huh? Red. just realized I've been muted for like a minute or two. I always forget there's like a hotkey that mutes me, and I use it all the time to type. All I was saying though is it feels like if you look at that red balloon image right there, it feels like they started with that design first when they were designing the rainbow balloon, and then they took that and created a little choop in the middle of it to make the heart shape, rather than designing a heart from scratch and making it look like a balloon. It feels like they took the balloon and put a little dent in it. So what we're going to do is figure out how to make a circle in pixel art, because I don't know how to do that. And if I had to guess, there's probably some kind of formula or like an algorithm that would make a circle every time, depending on how big it is, but I just don't know. We're going to figure it out. What I'm going to do is start at the middle 4 pixels, and then slowly work my way outwards until we get to the edge of the canvas. And I don't want to start at the edge of the canvas because, I don't know the formula to make a circle. Let's start. Let's just start with that square, and then we'll slowly make it bigger. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's that. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right there. I believe those are going to be our midpoints. What's my hotkey for the eraser tool? E? I can do that without muting myself or breaking the stream. So there's our circle. What we're going to do is just slowly work our way outwards. So there's the next circle. Yeah, that's the idea. Cool. And once we have that circle around the outside, I'm going to go ahead and try to shape it to look like a balloon. Because I have no idea how they make those curves. And if you look at it, they're not all the same slope, so I'm going to have to figure out how to make that work.
Let's make some ribbon.
Alrighty. So there's basically layer 1 of the circle, or layer 2 if you want to look at it that way. And we'll just keep going. I'll try to keep note of what is changing, what's staying the same. I don't know. Yeah, see, at this point, it's starting to already look like a diamond. So I guess I would want to do this. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we want. And I guess you could, from that point you could stylize it a bit more, huh? So something like this. Thickening the corners. Yeah, okay. So I guess every time you zoom out, what you want to do is extend out the sides of the circle. And I would assume at larger distances it looks more round than square. Which is kind of interesting. So then, how do I do this then? I guess extend these out to here. A little pixel right there. What is going on? Why do I... Oh, that's a different tool. Oops. I don't know what tool that was, but that was not the eraser. Yeah, okay, so that looks like a circle, sort of, if I look at that preview window. It looks like a rock that's been shaped to look a certain way. And not quite like a circle, if you know what I mean. So I guess this is going to be my learning point right here, because, again, if you're familiar with like pixel art or Minecraft or just drawing in general, I know that you know that circles kind of have like you have a certain amount of pixels on the side, and then you have like a certain kind of slope that you have to make it look round, but you have to find a balance between those two. Oh man. So something like that, maybe? Instead of having the edges so wide, maybe that. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. So it's either going to be me figuring out what this pattern that I see going on is, or I'm just going to have to do it by hand every single time I zoom out the circle. Because it might just be a different pattern every single time, which is going to be annoying to figure out. You know what I mean? So let's say we copy the pattern and zoom that out. I would assume at some point that exact pattern, if we keep zooming it out, is going to start looking more like a diamond. So at some point we're going to have to trim off the corners to make it look more rounded, but not so much that it looks like a square, I guess. Or maybe the other way. You know, you get what I'm saying. I think this looks okay for now. This looks like a circle. If I did this, would that look more like a circle? If I trimmed off some of the edges, or would that look like a diamond? Yeah, that looks more like a diamond to me. Okay. So sometimes copying the pattern works, like I just did now. Let's copy it again and see if it doesn't work a second time. If you're confused what I mean by copying the pattern, I'll try to explain it. What I mean is, just taking this edge and then, actually no, taking these corner pieces of the curves and just moving them out to the next corner, and then redrawing the edges as necessary. So by copy, I just mean copy the edges, essentially, for the corners. Basically, we have two little corner pieces here, and then in the next layer, we also have two corner pieces. Let's see if that doesn't work again, or if we look like more of a square. It's definitely something. I think if I had to say what shape that was, I would say it's a square. Maybe with lopped off corners. But I wouldn't call it a circle. So then the other operation that I would do, other than copy, would be to shorten the edges, I think. So instead of having two corner pieces here, what we're going to do is create a longer corner. So I'm going to do that by doing this. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Okay, cool. That's it right there. So we figured out there's two operations we can do to either make it look more like a square if it's like a diamond, or to make it look more like a diamond if it's a square. So let's choose one of those operations and zoom it out. And I would guess, because we just did the, not the copy translation, but the other one, I don't know what to call it. I guess it's called a cutting operation then, because we're cutting off some of the edges. We just did a cutting one, so I would assume the next one is also going to be a cut. And then the next one after that is going to be a copy. And then I think it might repeat that way. Two copy, two cut, two copy, two cut. Until we get all the way to the edge, maybe. Again, I don't know if that pattern repeats, or if it's random, or if there's like a cut, copy, cut, copy type of thing. But we're going to figure it out. We are going to figure it out. How is this game looking? I think it's looking okay so far. We are in Apocalypse. And so what do we need? We need something for the mobs, of course. Ideally something that will focus only on the mobs. So we have Sada, Spike Factory, and the Boomerang to cover everything else. I just had a Buccaneer. Let's do another Buccaneer. Let's have you on bottom path. Alright. So again, we just did a cut operation, so I'm going to do another cut operation. We're going to keep all of these edges right here the same. And then we're going to make the corners longer.
Get ready! Moab! Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
Yeah, that looks okay. Are these even on both sides? Yeah, that looks alright. I do think it looks more like a diamond, though, so I think maybe let's reverse it and do a copy operation instead. So essentially we would have had, say, this was the old edge right here. These were the corners. So instead of 4 on every side, we would have 3. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like that. All right. This is pretty nice about the size of the canvas and these grids too. I was talking about I was wondering why they made it so that the canvases are even, because some people might want to have just an exact midpoint, but I guess for this, something like this, like a circle or other shapes, I guess having it be an even canvas size would be nice. Which, evidently, it is. We are getting into some harder difficulties, though, so I might have to take a little break and focus on the game. It's looking like we don't really have too much time anyways, so this might be the last game for today anyways. Yeah, that looks more like a circle to me than the other one that we did. So maybe the pattern might be copy, copy, cut, copy, copy, cut, copy, copy, cut, copy, copy, cut. If I remember correctly, a lot has happened within the last like 10-15 minutes, but if I remember correctly, I think we did a copy operation, then another one, and then a cut operation, and then we just did another copy operation. So let's do it again. Let's copy one more time. So you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bring out all the edges to that length. And if I'm correct, this result should be more circular than if I did the other operation. Kind of crazy that we are doing this just to figure out how to make a balloon to make it heart-shaped. Like, there's like 5 different steps in here just to get to the rainbow balloon. This is worth it though, because this will teach me how to properly make a circle. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think we might be getting to that point where actually the pattern might break. I think we're getting to that point because, again, if you know about circles, if you know about pixel art, at some point there's like the edge here, right? And then at some point it needs to curve inwards to make everything even. So you would have to do something like this. Instead of having it as a complete edge, you would break this up and have it go like 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, like that. So you essentially increase the number of edges, which I guess makes sense actually now that I say it out loud. That actually makes complete sense. We need to increase the number of edges. Yeah, that makes total sense actually. But you know what? Scratch what I was just saying about some nonsense about cutting and copying and cutting and copying. What we need to do as we zoom out is increase the number of sides as much as possible. I guess we'll define a side for the purposes of today. Oh, I just changed my overlay, my bad. For today, I guess we'll define an edge of a circle as being more than 1 pixel. Because otherwise it would be a corner.
Oh, I could have popped that.
So we'll call this one edge. We'll call this an edge, an edge, and an edge.
Good choice.
So we have a square. Let's try to reduce, or no, let's try to increase the number of sides. So how would we do that? We need to at least keep a width of 2 pixels on every side. So 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be the midpoint there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Midpoint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So this way we have the most amount of sides. We keep it like this.